Hi, I'm Liron Cohen.
And I'm Mimi Torchin.
And you're listening to Lady Parts TV, the podcast.
Whee!
Hi, everybody.
Greetings and salutations.
It's been so long.
I know we've been busy.
Yeah, and you have been seeing us.
Yes, we've been all over the internet.
Yeah, once we got ourselves together and
out of the city, and
the level of the amount of time spent on disinfecting things has gone down a little bit.
Well, my wife did all the work.
Yeah, so we've become available to do some stuff, and you may have seen our interviews with Zoe Ventura, with Nicole Kahn, with Denise, a grocery clerk, especially as a tribute to essential
our Lady
workers.
Parts friend.
Yes, so we've been busy, and we plan to try to keep you as busy as possible, and some part of how we do this is we tell you what to watch.
Well, and what we've been watching, or maybe what not to watch too.
Right.
Sometimes.
Well, we try not to do negative things, but yes. Well, let's start with the stats because it's been such a long time.
I mean, I can't believe. Can I just say it? How many shows?
Oh, you want to say it? Yes.
I want to say we watched 182 shows since last we
just
met.
prime time.
Yeah.
Just primetime shows.
Time.
Otherwise,
exactly.
we don't count the rest of them.
And I watched American Idols and Voices and things we don't deal with.
Out of which, written or co-written by a woman, 103, which is 56%.
Fantastic.
Yay. And directed by a woman, 84, which is 46%, which is
pretty
almost
damn
half.
good. And it's possible that I could have watched something that I forgot to give you. But usually I look.
But anyway, it's pretty good. So that's not a bad start for this podcast a month later. And we're going to start by telling you about a show
that's just breathtaking and depressing like mad, but it is just magnificent. It's called Stateless. It's a mini-series. Do you remember how many episodes?
6.
6 episodes. And it just finished airing in Australia, but it's been purchased by Netflix and will be released later this year.
We'll let you know as soon as there's an actual date.
It was created by Kate Blanchett.
Woo!
Yes. Elise McCready. Oh, sorry. And Tony Ayers. And here's the kicker. Stars Yvonne Strahovski. Kate in a small role. Dominic West in a small role.
Marta Dusseldorf.
Your
Janet King.
Who we love. Jay Courtney. Asher Ketty. Kate Box and Maria Angelico, and also a wonderful actor, Faisal Bazi.
Faisal Bazi.
And Soraya
Haidari.
As Mina. And you will fall in love with Mina. Anyway, it's about 4 people from different backgrounds who end up either working or by mistake or coming to Australia for as a refugee in a detention center, right? Which they keep insisting is not a prison,
but it sure feels like,
looks like, acts like.
They're not in cages because they're not in America.
Yeah, but they're in.
But they're in a big cage.
Terrible conditions, and the stories are fascinating and heartbreaking,
and based on true
events, absolutely. And everybody is wonderful. Yvonne Strahovski, I just wish that she could get an Emmy for this, but maybe she can get a BAFTA.
She might be able to get an international Emmy,
because once again, she is just mind-blowingly magnificent. She is such a great actress, and she's been coming into her own for quite a long time now. I mean, Serena Joy to me is the main character, not Alfred
in Handmaid's Tale.
Handmaid's Tale, and she's just amazing. Everybody in the show is perfect, pitch perfect. It will break your heart. It will make you furious. Even the things that happen out of the camp are infuriating.
Well, I know what's interesting is that they show, because these are people who come to Australia as refugees,
terrible lives,
seeking asylum, and what they have to go through, and
the politics.
But on the other side of the fence, the people who work at that detention center, and what it does to their souls and their families and their ability to function in the world, and it's so good.
Jay Courtney's performance is really wonderful. He plays the guard whose life we follow and whose soul deteriorates.
It's just so good, and it really is very hard to watch because it's very heartbreaking and infuriating.
It's hard to watch, but we couldn't take our eyes away
because it's so
from
good.
It's just so riveting and so magnificently
and it's important.
produced.
It's important.
And timely. I mean, not timely as far as coronavirus is concerned.
No, but there are so many refugees around the world now, more than in a long time, and all they want is to go somewhere where they can settle and make a life and contribute to the country
exactly.
And it's just so.
And the bureaucracy, the politics of it all.
It's ugly.
It's
very ugly.
It's ugly. And
yep,
that's it.
Anyway, Stateless will be on Netflix soon. We will let you know when it is. And if you're in Australia, go watch it on
immediately.
Demand. Speaking about Cate Blanchett, and I'm always speaking about Cate Blanchett, who is also showing that she has very good taste in producing, and I'm eager to see what else she has planned for us. But this is starring Cate Blanchett. This is she's now doing television, which is fantastic. Well, if you can call this television. This is this is Hulu. It's called Mrs. America. It's premiering April 15th, so next Wednesday. Created by Davi Waller, a woman who worked on Mad Men. It has a stellar cast.
Astonishing.
But let me tell you first what it's about, so I can tell you then who plays what or who plays who. Back in the 70s,
I remember.
I bet you do, when the women's movement started gaining traction, and they were trying to pass the ERA, the Equal Rights Amendment, which, by the way, in case you didn't know, still has not passed. It means it basically would put into the Constitution that women are equal to men, because, again, in case you didn't know, women are constitutionally not equal to men.
We're sort of like 40 acres and a mule with a mule.
We're the mule, yeah. Anyway, so in order to ratify, though, a constitutional amendment, you need all the states, not all the states, but almost all the states, approval, in addition to
36 states.
Yeah, you need a majority of the state, including, of course, the Congress. And so they were campaigning to pass the ERA. And
it was looking pretty good. It had a little traction.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And Phyllis Schlafly, just the name, doesn't it kind of roll like you're spitting it out?
God, I hated her.
She was a woman back in the 70s who led the movement against the ERA. She was an anti-feminist.
She said, why would we want to be equal? We're better. We don't have to do anything.
We don't need to go to war.
Yeah, we don't need to go to war.
And she was fighting for women's rights to stay home and be wives and mothers. And you know what? I think being equal means you can choose to be a wife and mother. You have the choice. But anyway...
every time I think of her, my blood boils.
She was just power hungry, and I think she just enjoyed the attention and enjoyed getting, rising to power. If that meant that was her stance in order to do it, then, so be it. Anyway, Cate Blanchett is playing Phyllis Schlafly.
I love her chutzpah. She'll just take on any role that strikes her fancy.
Oh, it's fantastic. We're going to hate her, but it's going to be Cate Blanchett.
Absolutely.
So
well,
we're going to love hating her.
We didn't like her very much in Stateless, did we?
It's true.
Yeah.
Rose Byrne is going to play Gloria Steinem. Uzo Aduba is going to play Shirley Chisholm. Margot Martindale is going to be Bella Abzug.
I love it.
And the kicker, Tracy Ullman, is going to be Betty Friedan. Also starring is Sarah Paulson, Elizabeth Banks, Niecy Nash,
and many more.
This is a cast of my dreams. Yeah. Plus, it reunites Sarah Paulson and Cate Blanchett, and they are playing friends, even though I have a feeling their friendship is going to be rocky throughout this show. Anyway, it looks so good.
It looks so good, and I can't wait for it, but I'm already angry. I'm already pissed off.
I've been angry for 40 years, and I'm not even 40
Do you know how long I've been angry? Don't say it.
Anyway, it looks so excellent. Again, it's starting on Hulu April 15th. Usually what Hulu does is they drop 3 episodes the first week and then they do one at a time. I hope that's what they're planning to do this time.
They hook you really well, and then they make you stay.
Wait, I know. Anyway, Mrs. America, definitely do not miss. Now, something very different.
On a completely different note.
A British series that has already finished running in the UK because it's only a 4-part miniseries. In the UK, it was on Channel 4, and it has premiered in the US on Acorn TV April 6th, so just last week, and it's going to have a new episode every week. It's called Deadwater Fell. Created by Daisy Cullum, also from Humans. So good pedigree.
Humans.
Starring Cush Jumbo, whom we love,
we adore,
and whom we just watched in the
season finale,
season premiere of The Good Fight, which was so crazy,
amazing, out of its mind,
amazing, literally. Anyway, Cush Jumbo, David Tennant, beloved by many, especially Doctor Who fans,
right?
Anna Madley,
Broadchurch fans,
right?
Too.
Yes. And it's a psychological mystery drama, and it's very. It starts kind of slow. Well, actually, it starts with a bang and then it becomes slow. And you don't necessarily kind of think that you'd want to binge on it, but we binged on it. Yeah. We watched all 4 episodes in a row.
There's something compelling about it right from the start, but as you get
really
further into it, it just becomes a kind of a maze of... whodunit. It's a whodunit.
It's not even
in a way.
It's not even a whodunit. It's more like a did he or didn't he? Did he? And you kind of keep going back and forth, and you just have to know. And it's only 4 episodes, and it's very the scenery is beautiful.
Gorgeous.
It's a small village
in Britain.
Yeah, those small villages. They draw you in because it's like this very insular kind of a community. And
Children of the Corn. That's what I think about those insular.
But that's not what this is.
No, it isn't.
Anyway, the premise is there's a couple of friends who have a couple of friends with a family, and there's a fire, and the mother and the children die in that fire, and we need to find out.
But there's more to it.
Who did it?
There's more to it.
Well, that's the premise.
Yeah.
That's the premise. And again,
and it's horrible.
It's very horrible.
Heartbreaking. Because, of course, you get to know them a little bit before or after. I'm trying to remember if it flashback.
As we've been complaining about for many, many years, and especially now when we're just, catching up on Chicago Fire, I hate that. I mean, whenever you see somebody happy, something bad is about to happen. So the fact that you see them so happy at the beginning, that something bad is going to happen. But anyway, it's really good.
What would it be? We don't want to watch people for 4 hours or however.
Not in this.
Be happy.
Not. God forbid.
God forbid. That's.
I am all for people being happy.
I'm all for people being happy too, and I like a happy payoff. But I don't want to watch people being happy hour after hour after hour. I'm sorry. If I wanted that, I wouldn't watch the dramas.
But there are
watch.
There's plenty of drama you can have without every time somebody's happy thinking that's it. That's it. Something
finished.
Terrible is going to happen. Again, flashbacks to Matthew driving that car on Downton Abbey.
Singing,
so happy,
just saw
so
his
happy.
Baby. We knew he was dead immediately.
Dead. Anyway, Deadwater Fell is very good. Again, only 4 episodes, so if you want, let them accumulate and then just binge them. Because
Acorn is great.
I know, we love Acorn TV. And by the way, in case you don't know, for the times that we are in, you can now have 30 days for free as a trial on Acorn TV. Usually it's just 1 week, but right now it's 30 days. So, Deadwater Fell. Now, I just want to say, we had quite a few movies that we were going to preview for you, and then everything happened, and so a lot of movies got postponed. Even though I thought that was a mistake, because a lot of those movies were movies that you would mostly watch on demand and on digital anyway, and this is the perfect time to give people content, but it wasn't my choice. But one of them we are reviewing now.
Right. It's a small little horror film, a handy little horror film called Sea Fever. It's on demand and digital, starting it started
starting
April
yesterday.
10th. Was that yesterday? April 10th?
Yesterday was April 10th. I know.
It's the feature debut from BAFTA-winning director writer Nisa Hardiman. She worked on Happy Valley, Jessica Jones, and it's starring, for me, Connie Nielsen, who I adore. Someone I didn't know, Hermione Corfield, Doug Ray Scott, and a few other. It's a few other people. It takes place on a fishing boat, a week on a fishing boat. So it's just a fishing crew. There are 3 women. The women are always the most interesting, but Connie Nielsen owns the boat, and she's fascinating. Hermione Corfield's character, I can't remember her name right now, is so introverted in the beginning as to be almost
on the spectrum.
On the spectrum, absolutely, and not that high on the spectrum, but she does rise to the occasion of this fever, this terrible thing that starts happening to her crew when they get caught on something. They get caught on something. They're not sure what it is, but what it turns out to be is an unknown kind of a creature. And there's a feeling of doom and gloom right from the beginning that never lifts. It just never lifts. And it's also in very close quarters most of the time, except when they're out on the sea, which is very beautiful. I think I'm not sure the payoff was what I would have wished. The creature, we don't know that much about it. But I liked the film. I was very involved in it. I was interested in the characters. It worked for me as a horror film, even though it ultimately was maybe not totally satisfying. I think that if you're a fan of the horror genre, this is a good film. And especially if you like the horror at sea, which is its own genre, and one that I like very, very much. It's not fun, but it is creepy, and it's well shot and very well acted. So I give it a thumbs up if you're a horror fan.
Which I'm not, which is why I did not watch. But
I always watch the horror films.
Especially, a combination of horror and boats.
And boats. I mean, 2 of my favorite things.
2 of my least favorite things. So it's called Sea Fever. It is available on demand and on digital starting yesterday, so you can go ahead and check it out. Finally, we have a heads up for you for a show that's starting on HBO tomorrow, Sunday, April 12th. And it's created by Vicki Jones and Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
The ubiquitous now, Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Yes, she's everywhere. Some are happier than others about that. It's starring Merritt Wever, which is, to me, that was the number one reason to even take an interest in the show, because I'm not a Phoebe Waller-Bridge or a Fleabag fan. Also, in the cast, we saw Archie Punjabi listed, but I did not see even a trace of her in the trailer.
The trailer is very much just her and Domhnall Gleeson.
Right, Domhnall Gleeson and Merritt Wever, and also Phoebe Waller-Bridge makes an appearance.
She makes a little appearance.
And I think, though, that the series really is 90% the 2 of them, which is why it really doesn't appeal to me much. Phoebe Waller-Bridge, with the exception of Killing Eve, which is very different from everything else she's done. Her stuff is just too straight for me. I'm sorry, but not everybody feels so strongly against things that are too straight.
Well, she did have Kristen Scott Thomas as a lesbian,
which is the one singular scene I actually enjoyed. Anyway, it's about these 2 ex-lovers, again, Merritt Wever and Domhnall Gleeson, who activate a plan to escape together.
We're not sure why.
She kind of goes along with it, though she has her own reasons to respond in a yes, I'll run with you, but we don't know why he's running.
It's a plan that they made
while they were still lovers, obviously. But he has a very imminent reason, I think, to want to run, which he's trying to figure out why he's running. And she obviously is running from something in her life.
Well, there is a scene that shows a lot of money in the bag.
Right? So there's but the music in the trailer. At first, I thought it was going to be more like an action drama, and then the music made it sound like more like twee, kind of like
or
light
like Chips or something.
Something a little more light comedy kind of a thing.
Hillbilly music.
Yeah, so it didn't appeal to me much. We have it set to tape to try it out, but I don't have high hopes for it. Anyway, it's called Run. You might like it. So
I won't, but you might.
So I say, if it sounds like your kind of thing, check it out on HBO starting Sunday, April 12th. And before we go, I want to say 2 things. First of all, if you're not watching Tommy, Edie Falco's new
series,
police drama.
She's a police chief of L.A.
Right. Thursdays on CBS. I really urge you to watch it.
It's a very good show.
It's a good show, and Edie Falco, this is, I think, the first, out lesbian character on primetime television, leading the show. And
right.
This is CBS, traditionally a kind of a conservative...
We've had many fuck you CBS moments.
Many, still do. And at first, Katrina Lenk, if you know her, she's more of a theater person. So if you're a New Yorker, you probably know her.
Yeah, she's delicious.
She's wonderful. And she was introduced in the earlier episodes as somebody who potentially could be her love interest. But, they kept kind of going in and out of that.
Yes, because Tommy was resisting. She had she had just gotten busy. There. She's busy. Right.
And I was worried that they would just kind of bait us. Yeah, like, one kiss and then, nah, I'm not into it, or nah, I'm too busy, blah, blah, blah. But they brought Katrina Lenk back. And on last Thursday's episode,
it was a nice surprise.
It was so wonderful. It was so rewarding, and I hope that they're gonna keep it up.
I don't know when they shot all of this, because Katrina Lenk was getting ready to open.
But there are many people. If the show is shot in New York, there are many people.
Shot in L.A.
We don't know that.
Oh, we don't know that.
We don't know that they couldn't do locations.
Oh, that's true. That's true, because they don't do too much out in the street. It's
right.
True.
So
no, not too much out on the street.
But. Even if you did go to LA, there are many actors who, while they're doing theater, will still, because it's not a big role.
Yes, but it's important.
Yes, this is. But I'm saying you shouldn't take too much of her time.
Right.
So anyway, right now nobody's shooting.
She's such an interesting choice.
She is, but they work well together. There's
very good chemistry, which is a fun. There's a fun bit if you haven't watched the show yet between them about chemistry.
Yeah.
I think Falco is wonderful. I've always liked her, even though I hated Jackie and Nurse Jackie.
Mm-hmm. But she was an excellent actress.
She was an enraging character.
But she did her so brilliantly.
She was so good. That's one of the reasons to watch also Eve Best.
Yes.
You might want to check out Nurse Jackie again.
Well, it was a good show.
Where is Eve Best? Yes.
Where is Eve? Well, I'm sure she's in the UK somewhere.
Yeah.
But yes, where is Eve Best? I missed her on our screen.
Yes. But anyway, everything Edie Falco does, of course, Carmilla Soprano is her,
and Oz,
her great oeuvre. Yes, she was great on Oz too. But
and then that time she opened the door to us
at the Levi's store in
Times Square.
Yes,
that was a great role.
Held the door open for us. She did it quite well.
Anyway, she's so great, and there's great chemistry between them.
She plays a very interesting character. I really like it, and I
really hope they renew the show.
Me
because,
too.
I have a bad feeling, and I love it so much.
Yeah,
so.
we love it, and
anyway, yeah.
Tommy.
Anyway,
we recommend it. Tommy.
Yes, Tommy, Thursdays on CBS. Mm-hmm. Also, I just want to say, and really wrap it up, because I know we're a bit...
We're rambling a little.
Modern Family had its finale last Wednesday, and I have to say, finales are very hard to do.
Very hard.
They did such a wonderful job. First, they had
totally
this
satisfying.
hour-long, like a making of behind the scenes of the whole show, and then they had an hour-long double episode of the finale, and it was just so rewarding and wonderful.
It was so heartwarming, and it was really like saying goodbye to good friends. Yeah, it was very good.
And, in case you dropped out of Modern Family, because they had a couple of years where they were kind of going down a little bit, but this final season has been great.
Really great.
And the finale was wonderful, so we recommend that as well.
Bye-bye, Modern Family.
And bye-bye to you for now.
Yes.
We hopefully...
Stay safe.
Stay safe,
healthy,
stay in. Unless you're an essential worker. In this case, thank you so much for what you're doing.
For everything you do.
And we hopefully will be here next week with more.
Lot of TV.
With more.
We're watching TV till the cows come home.
So email us, ladypartstv@gmail.com. Tell us how you've been, what you're watching, what you're up to, and what you would like. Because, we're home.
We're here. We have time.
We're taking requests. Bye.
Bye.